Welcome to the first episode of SugarPunch Theater Mode. I'm Magikura, the brains behind this awful idea.
I'm ABI, the first and only victim.
And today, I decided to watch the King of Fighters live-action movie.
Did y'all know there was a film for this?
I bet not a lot of people know. In fact, I forgot this even existed, and the only reason why I remembered was a YouTube video where people took, where somebody took the King of Fighters movie and put like KOF sounds over it.
Kaiser Weave.
I wish I could. I wonder if I wonder if that video's still up.
I hope so. That's more entertaining than the entire 1 hour and 30 minutes we just sat through.
The movie was an hour and 30 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours.
God.
We'll get to that in a second. But before we do, ABI, would you like to inform our listeners just a little bit of our history with KOF?
Okay, so I feel like a lot of Westerners, we kind of got in on, I guess the second bandwagon of people getting into SNK games, where we were first introduced to via Capcom vs. SNK.
Well, no, hold on. I played Samurai Showdown way before then, buddy.
But
we never knew about the King of Fighters series.
No, of course not. But, yeah, we were introduced to SNK and its cast with CVS and CVS2, and we then remembered, oh yeah, Samurai Showdown. But from that point, like most people, you can go back and check out the previous King of Fighters. Our first KOF game was what? KOF 98?
98, the Dream Match.
The Dream Match,
right?
Yeah.
It had a very good cast of characters.
Very good cast of characters for to just dive a lot, which you'd recognize from CVS2.
Yes. So
it was a very good jumping point for us.
Mm-hmm. And then we went into the K-Dash story and then KOF 99.
Conveniently, because of yearly installments, we could just play KOF 98, 99, then 2000, and then 2000.
Then from there, it gets a little blurry.
Yeah.
So, what I wanted to get across to our listeners here is that we're more familiar with the K-Dash story than we are with the Orochi story.
I went back and played 97.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, but either way, the two of us are more familiar with 99 and all.
Yeah, and we're at least familiar enough with Rugal to know where he is in the KOF universe.
Kind of. See, the point is, the movie is trying to cover, the Orochi story.
I mean...
trying.
Well, I'll let you explain how they adapt this particular saga.
Oh boy. Alright, I am tasked, me, Mr. Try to Recall, is tasked to do the film summary, so I'm gonna try my best.
Try to recall a movie you saw just an hour ago.
It's not hard. It's actually not difficult at all.
Okay.
Let's see how well I do, okay?
Okay.
So, the opening scene is Maggie Q as Mai Shiranui, who never wears red the entire movie. She's fighting against albino Mr. Big in a meat locker. A meat locker or a freezer room or something.
Do you remember how she got there?
Oh yeah, the movie opens with her taking a shower, and then she puts on a earpiece with the King of Fighters logo, CG hologram thing floating next to it. And she gets teleported into a meat locker where she fights a white Mr. Big. And I can only assume it's Mr. Big, even though they never say his name, because he has a big coat and he fights with dual Arnis sticks.
Eskrima, yeah.
Eskrima, okay. Filipino, right? So I assume Arnis. That's the first one I jumped to.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So she beats him, and then a flying ball of snakes appears, and he goes, "What the hell is that?" And she says, "Oh, that's my win." And then she gets teleported back, and then we can move on to a freaking a super long intro series, which kind of reminded me of the Avatar intro.
Kinda, yeah.
With shadows, shadows and against the background doing martial arts, and every now and then fire would appear.
Yeah.
And from here, the movie slows the down as Mai meets up with her date, Iori Yagami.
Yes.
And they go to
the Met Gala?
No, I'm not going to call it that. This takes place where again?
Seattle. King of Fighters
takes place
in Seattle.
Anyways, so they go to some kind of I want to say it's a museum opening, but it looks like a high school auditorium. And there, Chizuru is putting on display the Kagami mirror, the Yagami Magatama, which just looks like some random necklace, and the Kusanagi sword.
The three sacred treasures of Japan.
In Seattle.
Seattle.
And they waste so much time just explaining what the Orochi story is, and I honestly wasn't paying attention, but from what I know from Japanese myth, oh yeah, Kusanagi sword. Just a thing that's slaying Orochi.
Oh no, they didn't say this shit at all.
They didn't?
No.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying that much attention.
No, what's more important to know is that the three relics in combination opened the portal.
Oh yeah, they opened the portal to Outrealm. Because Chizuru explains there's an Outrealm, and they're talking about, the tournament. Which I don't understand how the tournament works, but I'll get to that later.
Iori specifically says in this scene that, somehow they have reverse engineered the magic of these relics into their little modern earpieces.
They're modern earpieces which are controlled by an Alienware laptop. Okay, no, all right.
We're getting at ourselves.
We're getting ahead. All right. So, anyways, suddenly Ray Park appears, and he's dressed like Willy Wonka, and he's supposed to be Rugal.
No, he's not Willy Wonka in the scene.
No, he's Willy Wonka in every scene.
Oh, that's... Okay.
And he Kaiser waves the guard, and by that I mean he shoots him with a gun.
Rugal's iconic gun!
And he shows up to the auditorium and he shoots everybody with his UMP 45. And he fights Chizuru and he steals the sword. By the way, these the three sacred treasures are held up in plain sight on top of an auditorium with no glass or security or anything. He just walks up, picks out the sword, slashes Chizuru with it, and then steals everything.
The mirror!
Meanwhile, CIA agent Terry Bogard is keeping watch over all this.
And the moment shots are fired, he and his boys...
Yeah, they
his unnamed boys.
They rush in, and, Iori and Terry are trying to catch up to Rugal, who has mortally wounded Chizuru and run off with the treasures. And they go to a room, and Terry's all like, no, you can't stay out of police business or whatever. But then Iori kicks the door down, and I feel like I need to establish this. Terry and Iori both see Rugal fucking, bamf out of existence.
He takes the mirror and the Magatama and vanishes into thin air.
But the sword is still in the whatever.
Yes.
He doesn't take the sword because it doesn't go with it.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I'm making a big point out of this is that Terry, throughout the rest of the movie, despite seeing a man teleport out of existence, is all like, other dimensions. Fuck that, I don't believe what you're talking about.
I don't believe in your magic mumbo-jumbo.
Alright, okay, the next thing that happens. Oh, okay. So, Chizuru, he's being, carted off to the ambulance. She's all like, I trust you because you're trustworthy. I need you to find Saishiu Kusanagi. So they need to look for Saishiu Kusanagi, and he's a freaking hospital, and they visit him, and he doesn't want to talk to anybody. But there she runs into CW heartthrob Kyo Kusanagi. I think I'm stretching this out a bit too far. I'm gonna speed up a bit.
Speed up a bit.
So she runs into Kyo. He's all like, "Oh, I don't know anything." So she gives up, and then randomly we cut to two girls in a locker room flirting with each other, and this is supposed to be mice. This is supposed to be Vice and Mature.
That's right.
So they get randomly called on their laptop, I guess.
Their KOF portable devices.
Their KOF portable devices, and they get called over by Rugal, who is taking over the dimensions.
And a Tony Hawk skate park.
Yeah, sure. Right? Vice and Mature appear, and they're like, ooh, we get to fight, 2 versus 1. This is great. We're lesbian. And Rugal appears, he teleports them, and they're in their weird dominatrix stripper gear, because of course. And, well, I guess we'll talk about costumes later.
We'll talk about costumes later.
Alright, I have so much to say about costumes. Okay, so he shows up in his hockey gear.
Rugal loves hockey.
He's like skating around taunting them. He's like, I'm the king of fighters!
Literally says that.
I think they name dropped the king of fighters, 4 times in this movie.
And Ray Park saying that wasn't the first time.
Yeah, it wasn't. Anyways, so I guess he beats up Mature Vice with his hockey stick.
His sick hockey skills.
And then he does a weird soul sucking thing to Mature and
some NTR
in front of Vice, and Vice is like, no, I'll do anything. And then there's a really uncomfortable scene where Vice is strapped to a chair, and Mature is all like, ooh, you're gonna get it, and Ray Park is all over her, and then we just cut across, we cut to Kyo or something. There's an implied rape scene. So from this point, I think we're at the 10-minute mark, and we don't get to move the plot for another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Mai goes around, it's all like, hey, we need you to find the Kusanagi sword. Where's the Kusanagi sword? I don't know where the sword is. I don't know what you're talking about. I, Kyosu Kusanagi, don't know a damn thing about anything Saishu Kusanagi. And then, Iori shows up, and, I forgot to mention that Saishu, when Saishu's in the hospital, he doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, he said that.
And the minute Iori shows up, Saishu's all like, F you, Yagami, I'll kill you! And Kyo's all like, oh, this is strange. I hate this guy now.
Oh, and then he dies.
Oh yeah, and then Saishu dies. Right, that's
He just dies.
He just dies from heart attack, I guess.
From pure hatred, adrenaline.
So we dick around with Mai because she's just going from Kyo, hey, do you know anything? No, I don't know anything. Iori, do you know anything? No, I don't know anything.
No, Iori doesn't not know anything.
Oh yeah, no, Iori doesn't not know anything. Iori knows everything, but just refuses to tell her. And so
it's complicated. I can't tell you.
Yeah, that's how it was.
And then afterwards, Kyo's like, tell me the thing. And Mai's like, I can't. It's complicated. I can't tell you.
So we have 30 minutes of nobody telling anyone anything. Meanwhile, Terry's trying to get information from Chizuru in the hospital, and Chizuru's all like, I'll tell you everything. And then Terry's like, I don't believe you. I think at one point, we had Terry, Mai, Iori, and Kyo all in the same room, and we have the same conversation. What do you know? I don't know. What do you know? I know, but I'm not going to tell you. Terry, Mai, what do you know? I'm trying to tell you, but you're not. But you're not going to believe me. This repeats over and over and over again. This is the king of talking.
Infamous stick in the mud. Terry Bogard doesn't believe your bullshit.
Okay, I think there's a fight scene at some point. Do Mature and Vice ever, I think they fight somebody, but I don't remember what.
Iori.
They fight Iori. Yeah, Iori's all like, F all this. Right. They're trying to play this weird love triangle with Mai, Iori, and Kyo. And it goes nowhere. And, I think Iori gets super jealous that, Mai was hanging out with Kyo, and he gets so mad, he's all like, F you guys. I'm gonna go fight Rugal myself. And he puts on the Bluetooth and heads over to Rugal's place, and he fights Mature and Vice. And then he unleashes the Orochi because the snake ball possesses him. I don't remember. But then he comes back, and then we go back to running around in circles. What do you know? I don't know.
Tell me you're not ready.
You're telling me you're not ready. And then I think at some point Iori, who fucking has a hate boner for Kyo for literally no reason, gives him the Bluetooth. He's like, here, you don't believe, huh? Here you go. You take the Bluetooth and travel to the other dimension. I can't believe I'm saying other dimension when I'm talking about King of Fighters.
Okay, keep going. So, Kyo fights Rugal for 2 seconds.
Yeah, Kyo fights Rugal for about 2 seconds, gets kicked down, and goes, I don't want any part of this. It's like Kyo was trying to leave the movie at every chance he gets. And Mai has to go get after him. And Mai has to console him and give him, oh, hey, Kyo, You could do it. Except not, but if you can't do it, we don't care. We gotta stop Rugal. Me, Iori, and Terry are gonna go to the other dimension and fight Rugal, whether you like it or not. And by the way, Terry hasn't proved himself at all. Kyo hasn't proved himself at all this entire time. Kyo has lost 2 fights so far.
I mean, the first time you saw him fight was those 2 seconds against... Oh no, he fought Mai for...
He fought Mai for about 2 seconds.
1 second.
Yeah. For 1 second, loses, and then he fights Rugal for 2 seconds and then loses. Okay,
Our hero, Kyo Kusanagi.
So at this point, I think Chizuru wakes up from the hospital, and she just shows up to the group and she says, Rugal is trying to merge the defense. So at this point, we're like Mortal Kombat 3.
Okay.
And they all travel to the next dimension, and honestly, at this point, finally the movie starts and I'm having fun.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's just 20 minutes of fighting. It makes no f***ing sense. But like, they try to do we have the real sword, because Kyo is all like, I've been hiding the real sword this whole time. And
yeah, Rugal only stole a fake sword.
But Kyo's got a real sword, and he just pulls it out of his ass. They use a set that we've never seen before. He just shows up with the sword nonchalantly. No one even cares. Like, everyone's arguing about Rugal taking over conventions, and then Kyo just saunters in with a big box, and no one notices him. So they travel to the other dimension, and it's like Trash World or something. Well, I'm gonna call that Outworld, except modern day.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
So they're in Outworld, and oh god,
and everyone gets separated. First thing happens.
Everybody gets separated. Mai and Terry are stuck fighting hobos, as well as Mature and Vice. And honestly, they had one of the better fight scenes in the entire movie. I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Right? But Kyo is fighting Rugal, who is now dressed up like Geese Howard.
Yeah.
And he fights him like baseball bat versus the Kusanagi sword.
Yeah.
And Rugal's just taunting him. And then suddenly, like, oh, that's right, they're all like, no, Iori, you have to stay back, you can't control it, but then he joins anyways.
Yep.
He just teleports in like fucking Scorpion. And then at this point, we were cheering, because finally, shitty fire effects were happening.
Yes!
Whereas Rugal and Iori were fighting each other. And then, I don't remember what happens, but like, I think Iori gets consumed by the Orochi, and then he fights Kyo for no reason. And there's a lot of running around, and it leads to them going to like a alleyway where Mai, Kyo, and Iori have to fight Rugal. Oh, and meanwhile, I think Chizuru joined them in the other world, and she's looking for something. She like splits off and does the mirror thing, the mirror clones, goes off to random directions, and then comes back and dies.
Comes back and says, oh, while no one was looking, I stole the mirror.
So then she gives the mirror to Mai, like, no, Mai, you could be my replacement. Because this was Mai's character arc, apparently. And then that's basically the end of the movie. We just have a Kyo, Iori, and Rugal fight, and then Mai shows up with the mirror, and they just kind of help form the Triforce of Power, and then they seal Rugal away, and that's basically it.
Oh, no, there's one bit after that.
There is?
Because sealing Rugal doesn't work. He just absorbs the Orochi, and he throws them all back, and then he breaks the sword, and then Kyo has to make one final stand.
No, I got it. So, Kyo, right, who is getting his ass kicked the entire movie, right? He's facing off against Rugal, who's got the full power of the Orochi, right? And then during that fight, he's fighting with the sword, and then Rugal catches the sword and breaks the sword, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this, he blasts everybody away, and there's a final stand up, and he throws like a dark mist, Rugal's dark mist at Terry. Sorry, I keep saying Terry. Fucking Kyo. You know why I keep saying Terry? Because Kyo has so little presence in this entire movie.
Yeah?
Like, keep forgetting he's there. Anyways, so then it turns out the real Kusanagi sword was the friends we made along the way, and Kyo Kusanagi gains the power of self-respect and summons a sword out of nowhere, and then throws this flaming sword at Rugal, and he just disappears.
Yeah.
And that's basically the end of the movie. Although there was a stinger where they're all like, "Oh my, you're the new guardian of the mirror now," and Kyo, you have to hold up the family name, and then they zoom in on like this scowling Iori, as if there might be a sequel.
Oh, he's so angry.
So angry, and that's basically the King of Fighters movie.
So where do you want to start?
Well, for starters, obviously all the characters are wrong. Mai was actually supposed... I didn't mention this, but Mai was supposed to be a CIA agent.
CIA
undercover
double agent.
Working with Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And like her big character, I think her character arc was supposed to be, I don't know who I am anymore because I'm just, a double agent. Oh, I don't know who my identity is. My real identity is when I'm over there in the other fighting.
I made this comment when we were watching and the Chizuru death scene happened, and I said, no, it's fine. This is her arc. I was being facetious, right?
But it was her arc, except they just established this arc at that scene.
I know! So, I feel like the film, technically speaking, in terms of runtime, spends the most time with Mai.
So, technically, Mai is the main character? But Kyo has the big, power of self-respect scene.
But Kyo has to defeat Rugal.
Kyo doesn't even show up until, we're the 20-minute mark of the movie.
Yeah. We're already 2 fights in and Kyo hasn't showed up. Again, we had the opening shots for these characters is like... My comment was, lovable socialite Iori Yagami.
That's right. He goes into the museum. Air quotes, museum.
The exhibit. And they're all like... He's just shaking hands with everybody like, "Oh, Mr. Yagami, it's so good to see you,
Oh my oh my god. I want to say... I want to say, they butchered all the characters, but you know what? That doesn't matter anymore. These characters These characters are so far removed from the KOF characters that they just happen to have... I feel like these are action heroes who just happen to have their freaking names.
And,
And nobody can say anyone's name right.
No. There are at least 4 different ways people say the name Saishu Kusanagi.
I think Ray Park at some point says Kasanagi. And I think... Kyo actually says Iori.
People keep flip-flopping between, Iori and Iori. I think Mai just calls him Yori at some point.
I didn't hear that.
I caught that.
You did?
Yeah. So, I can't be too mad at how badly they botched the characters because they didn't even try.
I do want to mention that I skipped this part during the summary, but I think I marked it at the 1 hour mark. They're still looking for the Kusanagi sword.
Oh yeah. That cycle we're talking about?
Yeah, at the 1 hour mark, they're all like, "We need to find the Kusanagi sword."
Yeah, I believe you pointed out that around the 1 hour mark, we have already established the threat. The call to adventure has been happening for 40 minutes.
Oh, and the best part is there's a ticking clock. Because Rugal is just randomly killing fighters. I will get to something in a minute, right? So
I'm excited.
So yeah. I know you're excited, but Rugal has been I think Terry just says Rugal has been randomly killing fighters, and we never see him do this.
No,
everything is just explained to us.
Yeah,
and the thing you're excited about is that there are so many fighter name drops.
There is a scene in which, after Rugal defeats Mature and Vice and says, "Oh, I need Vice, I need you to do something for me." And his plan, I guess, is that he needs to have her lure in fighters for him to defeat. So she brings up her cell phone, and there's a list of names.
Do you remember who's on that list of names?
She just dials up "Hey, Dulon. You should go fight in the tournament. It's really fun. Hey, Ramon. Are you busy right now? You should fight in the tournament. Hey, Shermie, girl, what's up? Are you busy right now?
She's talking to them like she's some
We really need you to fight Rugal. He's a really cool guy.
She's talking to them like she's some high schooler going, hey, you want to go karaoke?
Hey, Dulon. Secret Chinese assassin Dulon.
Why did they pick Dulon?
You could have picked a bunch of other, much more nondescript names. Like, sure, I'll let Ramon pass.
You know what? You know what would have been nice? If they just said, hey, Chris, Yashiro, and Shermie.
Yeah?
That would have made sense. That would have actually made sense.
As dumb as this film was, I would have applauded those three names together.
Yeah, but they picked Ramon, Dulon, and Shermie.
There's a fun thing that Mature says when they both get called in to fight Skate Rugal.
Oh yeah?
Where she says, oh, we're being called in to fight at once? The tournament's never run teams before. King of Fighters? Running teams? This is the first time!
That's never been heard of before.
Never before seen!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of characters.
Yeah?
Do you remember when Terry gets his iconic cap?
Oh my god, I screamed. Not because, okay, good job, it says Fatal Fury on his cap. Like, when Terry's been in this suit, like, this entire time.
I should mention that every time characters use the Bluetooth to go to the other world, they change into their fight clothes.
Yeah, they do.
They change into their fight clothes, including Mai's iconic blue cocktail dress.
With garter belt.
Garter belts and high heels.
So anyways, Terry hasn't been fighting anyone this entire time because he's been CIA man in suit.
Yeah.
The moment he goes to the other world with the rest of the warriors, he gets like, you know, he gets a trucker cap and
No,
he does. He shows up with the cap.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He does?
He does. He loses it immediately.
Oh my god! It was there for like a split second, then it's gone?
Yeah, because like Mai's there by herself and she's like she sees the Rugal throne, and then like there's a camera movement where like someone grabs her on the shoulder, she elbows him, and it's Terry. Except he's wearing the cap for 2 seconds, he gets hit, and he gets knocked off.
Not even 2 seconds.
Whatever, right? He puts it back on, and then we see, I'm like, yeah, it's got Fatal Fury on it. But then that's when I screamed because they reversed the colors on his cap.
Were you gonna be that? Like, he's wearing an orange puff V vest and a green turtleneck shirt.
Was it the green turtleneck? I can't remember.
It was very bad.
Dude, the lighting in the lighting in Outworld was all blue and orange and it's hard to see.
I didn't even notice the cap the first time around. I thought he just grabbed it off of a hobo.
No. What they implied was he loses the cap in the scuffle and an Outworld hobo picks it up so that he punches them and takes his cap back. But he has the Fatal Fury cap and it's the reverse color. He has a red brim and the red the red face, and the rest of it's white.
Oh my god.
They don't have the white front part with the things that says Fatal Fury. You know, it makes it easier to see the words Fatal Fury.
Yeah, because it's printed in black embroidery. It's not even embroidery, it's like pasted on.
Speaking of pasted on, Iori.
Oh god.
So when Iori goes into the other world, he has his iconic red pants, and I'm glad they kept that.
And no belts.
No belts, because that.
How are you gonna do that?
But like, the thing that had me rolling was
he's wearing this leather jacket.
He's got everybody in here is wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Except Terry.
Yeah.
But he's got like a moon symbol, but it's not on the back of his jacket. It's just on his arm, like his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
And it looks, I swear it looks like like if you cut out colored paper and taped it on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rugal, are we on the costume segment now?
We're talking about costuming now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rugal has the most costume changes in the entire movie.
Yeah?
Like, every time you see him, he has a different costume on. Why does Ray Park get so many costumes? Everyone else only gets like 1 or 2.
Fun fact, I should bring up.
Yeah.
The actor who played Terry in this film would later go on to direct Deadpool.
Nah, man, that's great.
That's awesome.
I'm happy for him.
Deadpool 1 and 2.
I'm happy for him.
Those films are amazing.
Yeah.
Good. What a step up.
Yeah. Good job.
What an advancement in your career. All right.
I don't. He got serious. Okay.
He is riding tackles his way through Hollywood.
Shut up. Shut the up. So, are we done talking about costumes? Was there any other standout costumes?
I mean, there's Mature and Vice. They have these black leather dumb Halloween costumes.
And for some reason, Mature uses tonfas. Yeah.
Mature's iconic tonfas. Oh! There's a really fun thing where in the real world, Iori always wears his hair tied back. But when he's in the other world, in his fight clothes, every time he's in a long fight, his hair gets mussed up and he gets the hair swoop.
He doesn't have red hair though.
No, not the red hair, but he gets the hair over the eye.
Wait, so you like that or you hate this?
No, I'm just saying it for the sake of the viewer.
Okay. Okay.
I'm laughing and I'm not sure why.
You're laughing uncomfortably at this. Okay. All right.
He didn't do that once in the entire film.
No, he didn't. He just made fucking noises.
Oh, the Orochi, it's so strong.
Oh, yes, strong Orochi. Okay, so the costumes are shit, the story is shit, and the characters shit. You know what isn't shit, though? Ironically. Actually, no, it's not ironic. I was pleasantly surprised by the choreography in this.
Honestly?
Yeah.
We've seen worse from better films.
Yeah. It helps that, most of the actors are stuntmen, I believe. Maggie Q is mine.
Yeah.
Right? So she knows how to, perform.
Yeah.
Fight. I don't want to say she knows how to fight, but she's been in, several, kung fu flicks before, right?
Yeah, I think so. Some action movies.
And of course, Ray Park. In fact, Ray Park, the for those who don't know, he's the stuntman for Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen him for some reason they gave Rugal this fire kick. Right? And I wanted to say it was genocide.
Cut
it was not. It was not. It was like a weird windmill kick.
Yeah.
Right? And I recognize that this is a move that he practices a lot or something, because I think I've seen him do that as Darth Maul.
Yeah, just imagine a lightsaber on the other hand.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Ray Park. Yeah, that seems to be his special move. The Ray Park windmill.
Yeah. And it's... the fun shit about this casting, in particular, is that, you wouldn't pick Ray Park either A, for his acting, nor B, his resemblance to Rugal Bernstein, because he's kind of a short guy.
Yeah, he's very unintimidating.
There's a lot of scenes where I don't know if it's the lighting or if it's just the way they did his makeup or the way his face looks in certain shots, especially when he's wearing the hockey suit, where he just looks like, how do you do, fellow teenagers?
Okay, hold on a second. We're getting off track, right? I want to talk about the choreography.
Okay.
Because I actually really do like the choreography.
Yeah.
The camera is... Okay, they sometimes do really annoying things with the camera swoops around, but you know what? They hold the shot.
Yeah.
They hold the shot, and the action is visible.
For sake, there's no shaky cam.
Yeah, there's no shaky cam.
This is a 2010 film.
And it does action scenes better than whatever than most modern action. Okay, but I could see the action, and I can see the stunts being performed, and honestly, I have no problems with it.
There was a really impressive fight scene in the end of the film.
Yes, there's a fight scene with Mai
and
Terry versus Mature and Vice, and they're fighting on 2 levels of a staircase.
Yeah.
And they would actually do really cool things where, Mai is Mai throws a punch, and they're doing exchanging blows, and then she hits him, but I don't remember who was fighting who.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna assume she's fighting Mature or something, and she punches Mature, and Mature falls down, and then they swoop up to Terry, who's getting his ass kicked by Vice, and it was a really cool fight scene. I mean,
yeah, as long as you escape the fact that this is supposed to be Mai and Terry versus Mature and Vice, or somebody watching King of Fighters, it's actually a good fight.
Yeah, the staircase fight scene was honestly the best fight in the entire game.
Yeah, the
game? Yeah, movie. Like, I liked how they were able to... Dude, choreographing 2 different fight scenes at the same time is really f***ing hard.
Yeah.
Right? And they were able to do that in one shot.
No, it was great. I like what they do in which they hold on shots. They're not cutting every other hit.
Yeah. But there was one fight.
Okay, there was actually one.
There was one fight that was really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, like, directly after what I call the best fight scene in the game, the staircase fight with mature Vice, Terry.
Yeah.
We go over to Yori versus Rugal, where you can't see the entire fight because, one, the fire effects are everywhere.
Yep, they've got fire hands.
They've got fire hands. I'm like, all right, cool. And they're doing weird Avatar Last Airbender like motions and shooting the fire everywhere. But the thing is, like, everything is blurred, and they're like fade transitioning to more blurred footage.
Here's what's happening, right?
What's happening?
Because I looked at it long enough.
Okay.
What's happening is, on the base level of the film, you have one footage of a camera rotating around Yori and Rugal having their little fire fist fight.
Yeah.
Overlaid on top of that, at about 40% opacity, is a different footage of Yori and Rugal having a fire fist fight.
And are both of the opacities changing so you're having, like, so it looks like they're going real fast?
It is either the opacity is changing, or there's a third footage of Yori and Rugal having a fire fist fight.
Meanwhile, Kyo just sits on the side watching this.
Kyo is just dead on the floor.
I have never...
Dead weight Kyo.
Dead weight Kyo. Kyo is the biggest dead weight in this entire movie, and
he comes back with a sword like the best you call me dead weight.
Kyo does nothing cool. There's no good scenes with Kyo.
No, none at all. Oh, there was another really awful shot. I remember. I committed to memory.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Where, like, I don't know if it was they were trying to hide the stunt. But it was in the very first fight scene where Mai has to, like, hop over a table and deliver, like, a double kick to Mr. Big. The camera swoops behind a pillar and you don't even see it happen.
Oh, f*** off. I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I remember it because I remember it because we had taken that moment to notice that they had bothered in the very first fight scene to establish Mai's iconic lightning kick.
Powers!
Yes!
I think they mistook, like, Mai for Chun-Li. Because I think at some point Rugal fires like a big fire blast at them, and Mai shows up in front of Kyo and Yori with a big lightning shield. Raijin can
repel the fire with my lightning power,
like Hoken. Was Mai supposed to be Benimaru? No, they wouldn't even.
They wouldn't even.
There's some other weird things, like they put like weird like After Effects.
There'll be like a lens flare or a spark whenever someone lands a hit.
Yeah, I don't mind it that much. It comes out of nowhere though.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good either because this is what 2010.
The 2010 movie, and like
the ball of snakes look the worst.
I don't know why the snake ball was in so early in the film. Why did it show up in that scene?
Because Mai's all like, "Oh, it looks like that's my victory."
What? Is that part of the original King of Fighters program? You win and you see the snake ball?
Maybe it's all like, hey, maybe that's Orochi going to the loser going, "Hey man, you want some of this Orochi power?"
Mr. Big taps into the power of Orochi.
Except he didn't even know what it was.
No.
So I guess if you know what the snake ball means, you could tap into the Orochi.
The flying snake ball, it's so bad. Oh god.
You know what else sucks though? I am commending the choreography because the fight scenes are pretty good. I put an emphasis on pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not amazing.
Not
but they're
fantastic.
But I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Right? What I didn't enjoy was the fact that I felt like I was constantly falling over. Because I want to say 60% of the shots of this movie are Dutch angles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thankfully, most of the fight scenes had, like, decent camera. Except for maybe one or two.
But everything that's not a fight is shot at a very noticeable tilt.
Very steep angle.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no. They have these amazing shots where it'll start at one Dutch angle, and then the camera will move and transition and tilt in the opposite direction.
oh my god, when did that happen?
Several times.
Really? I only saw it once.
It happened many times.
You pointed it out only once to me.
Because I didn't think they were going to do it more than once.
And not only that, I'm not a good judge of acting. Like, I can't tell what's good acting or bad acting because I watch anime. Anime acting is just nothing but over the top.
But that's why we love it.
Yeah, but anyways, here, in this movie, it feels like a TV movie. It's shot like a f***ing show on the CW.
Especially the alleyway scenes in the f***ing out realm.
No, especially anytime they're just in a room talking to each other like, yo, you have to...
Oh, that's true.
You have to tell us where the Kusanagi sword is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you know, all those relics. It leads to another dimension. You dimension, you kids.
You kids. Terry Bogard, Boomer, Extreme.
Infamous stick in the mud, Terry Bogard doesn't believe in your mumbo
Ultra
jumbo.
Boomer, Terry Bogard. But, like, I feel like they only do interesting lighting in Outworld. Like, everything's blue and dark, and sometimes it's orange. I don't know.
It does a lot of blue and orange.
It's a lot of blue and orange, right? But anytime they're in the regular world, everything is, like, evenly lit everywhere. They don't do anything with the camera.
No.
It feels like everything is shot on a TV set. It probably was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the only time they did anything with the color was Terry and my secret CIA base in a fish factory.
Yeah, but that's also, like, in a set and not, like, you know, in an outdoor... The outdoor shots are weird, right?
Oh my god. Yeah, they spent a lot of time in a graveyard, right? And it is the most evenly lit, like, shot out of anything.
I was distracted during one of those scenes because it's the scene where Mai is talking to Kyo, like, in front of Saishu's gravestone.
You mean Saishu Kusanagi?
Saishu Kusanagi. And they're having his character heart-to-heart moment, and I can't help but notice, Kyo, your nose is looking red. Are you okay? Do you have a cold?
Is he cold? Does he have a cold during the freaking shooting, and they just kept that in? Oh man, I feel bad. I actually feel bad. Nobody deserves that.
At the illustrious Kusanagi estate in the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
There's just this huge, expansive garden and Japanese estate where Kyo leaves every day to work on his motorcycle shop.
Oh, that's right. Look, I kind of skimmed over that. That's not that important.
It's not that important, but there's some things they do, right? Where Mai just follows Kyo to his workplace, and you get, like, I think the camera is just trying to show you a day in the life of Kyo Kusanagi. And Mai is, like, wordlessly looking around the office and seeing all these sketches and photographs of motorcycles. And you really get the impression that Kyo loves motorcycles.
Actually, I think there was a line where he says, oh, I'm not some destined warrior, I just fix motorcycles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we've covered basically everything about the movie. Like, is there anything we missed?
God,
I do want to say that despite this movie being utter shit in terms of story, it looks like Ray Park was having fun.
Honestly, he was having a blast.
Does he get that many speaking lines in most movies? I'm not familiar with his filmography.
Yeah, but, like, obviously we know him best as a stuntman. And famously as Darth Maul, where he has no talking lines because he's not an actor, so to speak.
Like, I feel like he also gets, like, he gets cast as, like, minions of the bad guy, so he only gets, like, one or two lines. But here, they gave him so many lines.
Yeah? He got to ham it up real good.
To the point where I could not understand what Rugal's plan was. Like,
I'm going to be the king of fighters!
He wants to be the king of fighters, so he needs to get people to come over to the Outworld but he can't do that anymore because he's killing them. So now he's gonna merge the world so he can become the King of Fighters in the real world? Huh?
And there's this... They tried to run this parallel or this metaphor of like, oh, we only fight in the outer world so we can become stronger in the real world.
Who said that?
Chizuru.
Did Chizuru say that or Mai?
Chizuru said it.
Okay.
Because remember, Mai is going through her character arc. She doesn't know who she is.
Right.
She has an identity crisis.
She's going to inherit Chizuru's mirror guardianship.
Yeah. Franchise icon Mai Shiranui, the known deceiver. A lot of people in this film have to turn around and go, Mai, look like, you were lying to me?
Yeah. Well, this movie lied to you. This movie told you this was a King of Fighters movie. What they gave you was Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh, I just want to bring this up.
Yeah.
Video game movie where one or more characters have to say something like, game over.
Oh, right.
Or, let's play.
Rugal, every other line from Rugal was like, oh, this isn't fun. This is getting fun. This is not in fun anymore. Now the games can begin.
I'm done playing around. Ooh, let's play. We're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a game? The game's about to begin.
Actually, he says that. One after the one. He says both of those lines in the same scene. This is it, but the game is over. Oh, now the game can begin.
I'm so confused about the idea of, like, the tournament. It's literally some VR game they play on their headset and everyone just does.
Look, I've given up trying to understand the story.
It's fine.
Look, I mean, the movie gave me one good fight scene, and that's the staircase fight scene.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that. There was actually one really pathetic scene at the end that I was howling at.
Oh, yes! Say this one for the viewers.
Okay. So at the very end, they need to do... they want to do the paper lantern thing.
They have to close off Kyo's adventure.
Yeah, they need to close off Kyo's adventure, they need to send off Saishiu Kusanagi. Right? So they have a paper lantern thing, and they're gonna, like, set it out on the water, and of the waters of Seattle.
The cold, frigid waters of Seattle.
And they want to have the paper lantern, like, float out to sea, right?
Yeah.
But the paper lantern looks like it was folded out of printer paper. It has, like, a shitty, like, printout of, I guess, the Kusanagi name. I can't read the kanji.
Yeah. If it was kanji,
right?
I don't know.
And while they're all, they're doing their CW acting, as they're saying, oh, Kyo, you're the new successor of the Kusanagi River, right?
You have to destiny.
The first thing I forgot to mention was that they're doing this in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So the paper lantern isn't lit up or anything, it's just floating there.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, the waves keep pushing the paper lantern back.
The lantern can't get further than 2 feet from the shore.
So they have a shot where the camera zooms in the lantern like, oh, look at that. But off on the side, you can see, oh my god, that's the
That's the shoreline.
That's the shoreline. You can see the shoreline.
You can see it. Everyone's walking away like, goodbye, Saishu. You taught me everything. And the lantern can't go anywhere. It's stuck.
I think that lantern is indicative of the entire movie. It wants to go in direction, but it can't.
It's gonna take 40 minutes for that lantern to find the Kusanagi sword.
Honestly, overall movie, one good fight scene. I had fun shitting on this movie because half the time we were just making KOF noises.
Yeah,
randomly. Like I had more fun yelling like Doshita and Kaiser Wave.
Sagebe, soshite shine.
And I was sad I couldn't do any of that for Mai because they got her powers wrong.
Iconic lightning power.
Alright, what do you think? What's your final verdict?
I can't tell if I regret my time. Again, you described it best. My entire experience of the film has been laughing uncomfortably.
Okay, true. As a fan of KOF, are you offended?
I can't be offended because it's not even trying.
Okay, here's one. Would I recommend this to anybody? Absolutely not. So, now that I've forced you to watch the King of Fighters movie, would you be willing to do this again with a different franchise?
I am so sure there's a bunch of other bad fighting game adaptations we can throw on this.
Well, not bad then for the first episode of Theater Mode.
Yep. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this as much as we did.
Oh, I enjoyed this a lot. I enjoyed this a lot because I love bad media.
Oh God.
And you know what? I'm surprised that none of the other bigger fighting game dudes have like done anything with this movie. So we're the first.
Yes.
I'm Magikura.
I'm ABI.
And next time I'm gonna force ABI to watch the DOA movie.
Oh no.